Now that you have seen the way to create an extrusion, and we have created this extrusion symmetric with respect to the front plane, you can see that the front plane is over here right now, and you can see that the top plane is this one right now, and you can see that the right plane is this one. So initially when we were having the planes aligned, they were aligned in some different way. So right now let me just try to create the extrusion in different plane and show you the differences with respect to the views. So in order to do that, let me just delete this extrusion. Now the planes are aligned in default view, and let me click on extrude, placement, define. Now let me define this plane, that is the top plane. Press sketch, and it is very important to align the view by clicking on sketch view. So what if I haven't clicked this sketch view option, and let me see what is the way you will be getting the circle. So you can see that the circle will be a little bit inclined. As it is lying on the top plane, you can see that the sketch is sketched on the top plane because we have selected the top plane, and you can see that the circle is created on the top plane. So this view is trying to help us understand where the sketch is created. So for clear understanding, let me click on sketch view. Now this view is normal to us. I mean, we can see it more clearly. And if you are wanting to change the diameter, we can do that again. Pressing Ctrl D takes us back to the default view, sketch view. Now I'm satisfied with the figure. I'm comfortable with this particular circle. I'm ensuring that this circle is a closed loop. Now I'm pressing OK. So in order to pan the geometry, we can press shift command on the keyboard, and we can press the middle click, and we can move the mouse on any direction. So this will basically pan the object or pan the model. So this is another option what we are learning while creating a solid model. Let me verify the depth again. It is 250. Let me use the middle mouse button and turn the object, and I want it to be symmetric. Let me just try to increase the cylinder length, say 600, and let me press OK right now. After pressing default view, you can see now that the cylinder is in a position which is quite resembling a standing cylinder. Yes or no? So in the previous video, we have seen that we have created the extrusion in the front plane. The extrusion was happening in this direction. Clear? And we have the extrusion right now using a top plane, and the extrusion is happening in this direction. So let us try to create another extrusion using another plane. So for your practice, you can just try to pause the video and you can just practice creation of the sketch or the two-dimensional sketch in different planes and see the variations with respect to the views after pressing the Ctrl D option, that is coming back to the default view. So let me go back to the previous option again by deleting the extrude. So this was the default procedure to use a extrude command by clicking on extrude, going to placement, define, clicking on the sketch what you want to work, and creating the sketch on the plane. So as I'm trying to explain the example, I'm not aligning it to the normal view. If you're interested, I'll just align it. Press OK. I want it to be symmetric. Let me just try to increase the length and press OK. Now you can see that the alignment is different direction. So this is the right direction. This was the front direction, and the previous one was the top direction. Now that my extrusion is created, if I'm wanting to add another extrusion to this particular geometry, I can do that as well by using either the planes or the surfaces of the object what I've created. So let me just show you one more example by creating a new extrude on this front plane. Okay, so let me click on extrude option and go to placement, define, select the front plane and press sketch. After that, let me click on the sketch view. So you can see that the previous extrusion is already visible. So this was the previous step what we have worked. Now we are into the next step of the creation of any model. Clear? So right now I want another circle. So right now let me just try to use a rectangle otherwise. And I am trying to choose a center rectangle, and let me originate the rectangle from the center. Let me enter a random length of 400. So I have created the sketch on the front plane. Now let me press OK. Now you can see that the material of the second extrusion is overlapping or getting intersected. It is getting combined with the first extrusion. Clear? So this is happening. This is what is happening in extrusion right now. The material is getting combined. I want it to be on both the sides. So I'll be using symmetric, and let me just extend the depth to something around 900 and press OK. So this is another extrusion, the second extrusion with the first extrusion. So this is the way you are using the extrude command and creating multiple extruded solid models. So I request you to use the extrude command and create different cross sections. Try to see that the cross section should be a closed loop, because if we are having a open loop, you will not be getting the extrusion. I'll show you with one more example. These are the dimensions. So right now this sketch what I've created, the two-dimensional sketch, is an open loop. I'm pressing OK. See, I'm getting a message, feature failed to regenerate. The reason is because this sketch is an open loop. So let me press cancel and let me close off directly. Press Ctrl D. Let me create one more extrude right now with a closed loop. I want to create in the top view. Now in order to avoid the confusion, let me click on sketch view and use a cylinder from the center. Let me change the diameter to be around 400. Press OK. Don't worry, I will be showing you this option later. So now I'm adding the material, and I want to add the material on one side. It is enough for me right now. This is just an example. And okay, so this is 750. I'm pressing OK. So I have the third extrusion. So this was in the top view, this was on the right side view, and this cuboid what you're seeing, it was a square what I've created and I've extruded it. So this was in the front view. So here in the model tree right now, you can see the 3 steps what we have performed. As I'm clicking on the first step, the first object is highlighted, or the first model is highlighted. Similarly, the second step, second object or the second model is highlighted. Then the third extrude is getting highlighted. Now if I want to change the view, change the way the design looks like, I have to go to this option called as display style. So here I have multiple ways of seeing the geometry. This is the wireframe way. So you can see the axis of the circle over here. This is the center axis. it is a dash and small dash and a longer dash line. This is the axis of the circle. This is hidden. So here you cannot see some of the lines. See, for example, something is getting highlighted. The intersecting lines are getting lighter shaded right now. Then we have the no hidden. We are not able to see any intersecting lines in the default view. Clear? Let me try to hide the plane. Clear. This is a little bit more easy to understand. Then we have another view called as shading. This is the default. We also have another option called as shading with edges. You can see the edges are highlighted right now, and in this case edges are not highlighted. So this is the default view or default display style whenever you're opening or working with the Creo software. Then we have the shading with reflection. You can see there is a reflection in the bottom. So this is like a render. You are having the object placed on the surface with a reflection. So this generally uses graphic cards. So it is not advised to work with this kind of display style. This can only be used when you are in the last stage. I mean, when you have completed the modeling part and you want a good image of it, right, to put up in your research work or papers or anything, right? So for that purpose, we can try to use this display style and take a snip of it. So the default display style is shading. So let us keep this view and work with this. So let us move to the next video to understand more about Extrude. I'm really hoping that you are finding this very interesting.